Stop. Pause now, my son, my daughter. Do not scroll further. Do not keep descending. Listen closely. Your soul has been calling out to me in silence. This is not just another video. It is no coincidence that your eyes stopped right here. I was the one who guided your finger. I was the one who paused time so this word could reach you. Because there is an emergency in heaven, and it bears your name. The Archangel Michael, my general of war, has descended with a command that shakes the foundations of the spiritual realm, a command that will change everything you thought you knew about the people around you. He spoke to me with a voice like thunder. Father, the order has been given. Before this day ends, the mask of someone you trust, someone who smiles at you, calls you friend, will finally fall. Yes, you heard me right. Not tomorrow, not next week, today. That unease in your heart, that strange chill in a conversation, that feeling that something doesn't add up, it's not your imagination. You're not crazy. You're not paranoid. Your spirit, which is connected to me, has been warning you. And today, I've come to confirm what your soul already suspected in the quiet hours before dawn. There is deception close to you, a betrayal operating in the shadows, draining your strength, sabotaging your steps, and stealing your peace without you even realizing it. But its time is up. Heaven's light is about to expose what has been hiding in the shadows of false trust. Stay with me until the end. You cannot treat this like just another message. If you resist the urge to leave, if you give me your full attention, I promise you a heavenly reward. Not only will you know the truth, but I will place a shield of discernment in your hands. So when the mask breaks before your eyes, the impact won't destroy you. It will set you free forever. Prepare yourself. Breathe deeply. You're about to understand why you've been fighting a war without knowing who your enemy was. The revelation has begun. You can feel the atmosphere around you shifting. I told you that you would understand the invisible war. And this is the moment where everything begins to make terrifying yet liberating sense. That heaviness in your chest with no clear reason, that sudden breathlessness in the middle of the day, it's not just anxiety. That insomnia that keeps you tossing in bed, your mind racing, replaying conversations, feeling a deep sadness you can't explain. It's not your body failing. It's your spirit under constant, silent attack. Every stab of pain, every sleepless night, every sigh of exhaustion has a source, a spiritual root. And that root is the dark energy projected by someone close to you. A wolf in sheep's clothing. Perhaps they're unaware of it, or perhaps they know exactly what they're doing. Their envy, their falsehood, their secret judgments have become invisible arrows aimed directly at your soul. That's why Archangel Michael was sent. He came specifically for you, not to fight a generic battle on earth, but with a direct order from the throne of heaven, with your name as the target of divine protection. While you searched for logical explanations for your fatigue, while doctors found nothing, Michael was already on the battlefield, wielding his flaming sword, severing the energetic cords that person used to drain you, manipulate your peace, and trap you in confusion. This is not a war of words, my child. It is a war for your destiny. The enemy used the trust you placed in that person to try to derail my plan for you, to make you doubt your calling, to convince you that you're not worthy of the miracle already on its way. They wanted to see you dimmed, resigned, surviving on emotional crumbs. But their plan has been exposed, and it has failed, because I have intervened. Your spiritual sensitivity has not deceived you. You felt the sting of this war in your own flesh, and now that you know your symptoms are real and spiritually rooted, prepare yourself. I'm about to reveal the hidden diagnosis. I will show you the exact wounds this betrayal has caused. Every door that mysteriously closed bore the fingerprints of this dark influence. Remember that job opportunity that seemed certain, then vanished into thin air? That project you poured your soul into, only to see it blocked without reason? That relationship that turned cold overnight? It wasn't bad luck. It wasn't fate. It was the spiritual contamination caused by that person, through envious words or jealous thoughts, polluting the atmosphere around you, erecting invisible walls to stop your progress. While they smiled at you, their spirit declared scarcity over you. While they patted your back, their heart wished you would stay stuck. And let's talk about the words, my child. The words that wounded you in secret. Those comments disguised as constructive criticism were actually direct attacks on your self-worth. Those jokes that made you feel small, foolish, insignificant. Those secrets you shared in vulnerability, only to feel them used subtly to manipulate you, to make you feel indebted, to control your decisions. You thought no one noticed. You convinced yourself it wasn't a big deal. But hear me with your whole being. I saw it all. I was there when that word shattered your soul, and you swallowed hard to keep from crying in front of everyone. I was there when they made you question your worth, your intelligence, your calling. I saw every tear you shed alone in the darkness of your room, whispering to me, "Why, Lord? Why does it hurt so much?" And now I answer you. Every one of those tears was recorded in heaven's books. None were lost. None were in vain. The enemy thought he had wounded you fatally, marked you forever with doubt and insecurity. But he was wrong. Because every wound that person inflicted, I am now transforming into wisdom. Every betrayal into a new level of discernment. Every tear into fuel for the miracle of justice and restoration that is about to manifest in your life. Now you understand. None of this was a coincidence. You're about to witness heaven itself begin to cry out for you. In fact, it already is. But this is not a cry of anger. It's a cry of justice for a beloved child who has been wounded in secret. And now, I need your voice to join heaven's cry. Even if it's silent through your fingertips, I need you to rise and declare that you're ready for the full truth. Answer me, son. Answer me, daughter, with your heart in your hand. Tell me, haven't you felt a strange coldness from that person lately? A subtle shift in their gaze when they thought you weren't looking? A heavy energy that lingers after a call or a meeting? Have you noticed how your good news seems to make them uncomfortable? How their smile feels forced and never reaches their eyes? You felt that emptiness, that disconnection, that invisible wall rising just when you needed closeness most. Don't ignore it anymore. Don't justify it. What you felt wasn't just a passing impression. It wasn't your insecurity speaking. It was your spirit discerning the mask. It was my Holy Spirit nudging your soul, sounding the alarm to wake you from deception. All of heaven has witnessed how that presence tried to dim your light through indifference, envy disguised as concern, and calculated silence. The enemy laughs when you doubt, when you keep your feelings to yourself. That's why, right now, I give you a spiritual command. Break the silence. Take authority over your life. Scroll down to the comments and write with the strength of your faith, with the resolve of someone who refuses to live in blindness. Write, God, reveal the truth to me. Do it now. This isn't just a comment, it's a prayer, a declaration to the spiritual realm that you will no longer be manipulated. It's your way of saying, I'm ready, Lord. Show me everything, no matter how much it hurts. Every letter you type will be like a spiritual hammer, shattering the power of lies over your mind. When you cry out on earth, angels move in heaven. Archangel Michael is waiting for this signal, this act of faith, to proceed with the next phase of your revelation. And now that you've cried out, prepare yourself. What's coming is a divine emergency, and time is running out. Listen carefully. Now that your cry has joined heaven's, time has accelerated in the spiritual realm. Michael has given me a warning, and I must deliver it with urgency. You have only 5 minutes. No, not 5 minutes on your wall clock. 5 minutes in heaven's time. A portal of revelation has opened over your life, and it won't stay open forever. This is a celestial emergency. Heaven's siren is sounding for you, not to frighten you, but to awaken you completely. During this brief but intense window, your spirit is exceptionally sensitive to my voice, and the enemy's defenses are weakened by Michael's direct intervention. But if you leave now, if you get distracted, if you think, I'll come back later, that portal of clarity will close. And when it does, you give the enemy permission to rebuild the walls of deception. My angels have already begun to tear down. Ignoring this prophetic warning is literally allowing that masked person to continue operating in your life unchecked. It's giving them free rein to let their poison drip into your soul unnoticed. It's leaving your door wide open for confusion, scarcity, and anguish to keep entering. The adversary is counting on your distraction. He's betting that a phone notification will be more powerful than your deliverance. Will you give him that victory? What I'm about to reveal is a spiritual key, an instruction that will teach you not only how to identify the mask, but how to shield yourself from the emotional shrapnel when it breaks. Millions live their entire lives as victims of hidden betrayal, but not you. You've been called to see, to be free. 5 minutes, my child. 5 minutes. Silence the noise of the world. Focus, because every word that follows is a crucial step. Time is moving. There's no turning back. Now that you understand the urgency, I will give you the deep instructions heaven has prepared for your protection. Here is the first divine instruction, the most important of all. Listen with every fiber of your being. Do not run. I know part of you, the wounded part, wants to close this message right now. I know fear whispers that it's better not to know, that it's easier to live in the comfort of lies than face the harshness of truth. That is the enemy's voice trying to keep you imprisoned in the very cell he built for you. But I, your Father, command you with love. Do not flee from this message. Stay here. Be brave. Be firm. The second step is this. Open your heart, not just your mind to understand, not just your ears to hear. I need your heart, that sacred place that's been wounded, that's built walls to protect itself from more pain. I need you to open it now, without reservation, without defense, before me. Because the truth I'm about to release cannot be received by a hardened heart. It will bounce off and be lost. But an open heart, a vulnerable heart before your God, is fertile ground. There, truth doesn't just enter, it takes root and produces the fruit of freedom. Many ask, Lord, why show me the betrayal if the pain will destroy me? Here is my promise to you. The reason I ask you to trust me, I will give you a spiritual shield before the mask breaks before your eyes. I will not show you the wound without first giving you the medicine. I will not lead you into the fire without first giving you the armor. This shield is not made of metal. It is made of my presence. It is a shield of peace to calm your soul when chaos erupts. A shield of strength to keep you standing when disappointment tries to buckle your knees. And a shield of wisdom to give you the right words or the right silence when the moment comes. As you continue listening, as you obey this command not to run and keep your heart open, I myself am forging this shield around you. I'm tailoring it to your exact needs, covering every weak point the enemy knows and has used against you. So trust this process. I'm not leading you into pain to abandon you. I'm guiding you through pain into total liberation. And now that you are protected, it's time to begin the revelation. Let's look directly at the first wound and understand the sacred value of the tears you shed because of this betrayal. Now that you are covered by my presence, look at me. Let's talk about those tears. The ones that fell in the solitude of your car after a painful conversation. The ones that mixed with the water in the shower so no one would hear. The ones that soaked your pillow night after night as you wondered what you did wrong. You thought those tears were proof of your defeat, evidence of your weakness, the bitter price of trusting too much. But in heaven's economy, my child, your tears have a different value, a different name. Every tear that person caused through indifference, lies, or betrayal was collected one by my angels. Each drop was recorded in heaven's books, not in the column of losses, but in the column of spiritual investments. Because what feels like unbearable pain on earth, in heaven it is seen as a seed of honor. Yes, a seed. You weren't losing, you were sowing. You sowed patience when you were silently humiliated. You sowed mercy when you were unjustly judged. You sowed loyalty when you were repaid with betrayal. And every seed sown with a sincere heart, even one broken by pain, produces before me a harvest that is abundant, glorious, and inevitable. The enemy wanted to use that pain to break you completely, to make you bitter, distrustful, to shut your heart forever. He thought he was destroying your ability to love. But I, in my sovereignty, took what he designed for your harm and turned it into an altar. And on that altar of suffering, your faith was purified. Your character was forged. And your dependence on me became real, not just a religious theory. The time of harvest is near, and it will not be small. It will be a harvest of honor. You will see with your own eyes how I raise you up precisely in the area where others tried to humiliate you. You will witness the peace that was stolen from you return multiplied sevenfold. The doors that were shut, doors that person helped close, will swing wide open, not by human hands, but by the breath of my spirit. Those who saw you cry will see you smile, not with a fragile grin, but with the firm smile of someone who knows their God is just and fights for them. So never again despise your tears. Never again believe your suffering was in vain. Your pain has carried a sacred and exalted purpose. It has been preparing the ground for the glory I am about to reveal in your life. And this sowing didn't happen only in your heart. The battlefield has been the very place you considered safe. Now that you understand the value of your tears, I must reveal where the fiercest battle has taken place. That battlefield has been your home, your last refuge from the world. Yes, my child, the invisible war has unfolded within the walls that were meant to protect you. Do you think those sudden arguments are normal? That tension in the air you could cut with a knife, even when no one is speaking? That feeling of dread when approaching your own front door, or the inexplicable exhaustion the moment you step inside? It's not work stress. It's not ordinary fatigue. It's the result of spiritual contamination that found an entry point. And that entry point, my child, was the envy of the person wearing the mask. In the spiritual realm, envy is not just a feeling, it's a force. It's a legal invitation for spirits of discord, lack, and strife to enter and take root. That person, with a heart full of jealousy toward your light, your dreams, and the love I've poured into you, opened that door without anyone noticing. Through that spiritual breach, direct attacks enter to rob your home of peace. That's why your finances don't stretch as they should. Money arrives and vanishes through unexpected expenses. That's why appliances keep breaking. That's why your sleep isn't restorative, and you wake up more tired than when you went to bed. The enemy has tried to turn your sanctuary into his base of operations. He's used your trust in that person as his Trojan horse. But today, as you hear these words, that access point is being sealed by heaven's authority. Archangel Michael's visit wasn't just for your heart, it was for your home. Right now, warrior angels are walking through every room of your house, cleansing, purifying, and expelling every dark force that entered through envy. They are breaking the cords of strife and restoring the atmosphere of peace. The enemy is losing ground this very moment. The cleansing has begun in your home, but now it must continue in your circle of trust. And for that, the revelation must become even more personal, more direct. You think I'm speaking in general terms, that you're just another face in the crowd. You're mistaken. Before the world knew you, before that person entered your life, I had already called you by name. The name you sometimes hesitate to speak in prayer, thinking I'm too holy to hear it. That name was spoken in heaven's courts with power, purpose, and love. It was declared to activate a decree of protection over you. I don't need you to explain the details of your pain. I know your heart perfectly. I know your sincerity, your pure desire to love and be loved, your unwavering loyalty, even when repaid with betrayal. I know every wound you hide, every longing you silence, every dream you tuck away deep inside. But hear me well, my child. Just as I know the purity of your heart, I also know the duplicity of the one who pretends to be your friend. I know the mask, and I know the real face behind it. I see the envy disguised as praise. I see the criticism hidden behind a forced smile. I see the selfish intent behind every gesture of supposed support. You've asked yourself 1,000 times, am I the problem? Am I exaggerating? Today, I've come to free you from the guilt they made you carry. No, you're not imagining it. Your spirit hasn't lied to you. What you felt is the echo of a heart that is not sincere with you. While you offered truth, you received performance. While you gave a shoulder to cry on, they stabbed you with judgment behind your back in the spiritual realm. When I speak a name in heaven, all of hell trembles because they know that person belongs to me and is not for sale. Archangel Michael heard your name from my own lips, and that's why he descended with a specific, non-transferable mission: to protect what is mine. The enemy may have used that person to wound you, but he will never snatch you from my hand. Your name is engraved in it. You are mine, and whoever belongs to me, I defend to the very end. This word is a divine whisper straight to your spirit, and this defense doesn't only happen during the day. The fiercest battle has been fought when you let your guard down, in the stillness of the night. Let's talk about your nights. That moment when your body seeks rest, but your soul unknowingly enters a battlefield. I told you, the hardest fight happens when you're vulnerable. That's why your dreams have been disturbed, your rest stolen. You've had strange, recurring nightmares, confusing dreams where you feel chased, anxious, or where that person appears with a demeanor that leaves a bitter taste when you wake. You've jolted awake at 3 a.m. with a racing heart and tightness in your chest, not knowing why. Listen closely. When you sleep, your conscious mind rests, but your spirit stays awake, alert, and more permeable to the influences of the invisible world. And the toxic connection you've maintained with that person has acted like a bridge, an open channel for spirits of unrest, fear, and accusation to enter and torment your rest. Their envy doesn't sleep. Their resentment doesn't rest. And the negative energy they've projected toward you, whether consciously or unconsciously, has fueled these nighttime attacks. That's why you wake up more exhausted than when you went to bed. You haven't been resting, my child. You've been fighting. Your spirit has been fighting battles in realms you don't even remember upon waking. It has been defending itself against words, images, and emotions that aren't yours, but were projected onto you through a contaminated connection. They've been stealing your peace, your rest, and your ability to dream about the purposes I've planted within you. They've tried to replace my dreams of hope with nightmares of failure, loneliness, and confusion. But since Archangel Michael descended, everything has begun to shift. Even if you still feel the remnants of war, I want you to know you are no longer fighting alone in the dark. I have issued divine orders and placed guardian angels around your bed. Michael himself stands watch as you sleep. He intercepts the fiery darts of the enemy. He silences the voices that try to whisper lies into your dreams. And the fact that you felt this disturbance, even without being able to explain it, is not a sign of weakness. On the contrary, it's irrefutable proof that you possess immense spiritual sensitivity. That sensitivity allows you to feel the atmosphere of a room, to perceive the falseness behind a perfect smile, to experience that strange unease in your gut when something isn't right. This is not a curse, my child. You are not too sensitive. You are not exaggerating. It is a gift, a divine radar, a heavenly antenna I installed in your spirit before you were born, so you could navigate a world where not everything that glitters is gold. The enemy knows this gift well. That's why he has spent so much time trying to use it against you. He's tried to convince you it's a flaw, a defect. He's launched attacks through people and situations to make you associate your sensitivity with pain, anxiety, and suffering, with the twisted hope that you would reject your gift, ask me to take it away, and become cold and numb like the rest of the world. He wanted you to silence the alarm I gave you to protect yourself from people like that masked one. But today, I come to declare the truth about you and to validate what you felt for so long. What your spirit warned you about that person is real. Every time you felt an inexplicable doubt, every time a conversation with them left you feeling empty and drained, every time your intuition screamed silently, be careful. It wasn't your mind playing tricks. It was me speaking through your gift. It was heaven's truth trying to break through the deafening noise of deception. Deep down, you always knew. But logic, affection, and your desire to see the good in others made you doubt yourself. From this day forward, you will no longer see your sensitivity as a burden. You will embrace it as your greatest weapon in this spiritual war. It is your early warning system, your internal compass, and I will sharpen this gift within you. I will teach you to distinguish my voice from the voice of fear. Your discernment will grow sharper, and now that you know your gift is real and your suspicions have been confirmed, one question remains. Why? Why does this person need to wear a mask with you? Let me reveal it now. Now that your gift has been validated, I will reveal the deepest secret, the answer to the question burning in your soul. Why? Why the silent betrayal? Why the hidden envy? It has absolutely nothing to do with your flaws. It has everything to do with your light. Listen closely. The enemy uses this person, allows jealousy and insecurity to grow in their heart, and turns them into a weapon against you for one simple, powerful reason. He is terrified of the light and purpose I've placed inside you. Think about it, my child. Darkness doesn't fight more darkness. It isn't threatened by bitterness or indifference. Darkness fears, hates, and flees from light. And you, often without realizing it, carry my light. You carry it in your sincere smile, in your ability to forgive, in that hope that refuses to die, in the dreams I planted in your heart. And for someone living in the shadow of their own insecurities, frustrations, and lack of purpose, your light becomes an unbearable mirror. Your very presence reminds them of everything they are not, everything they've given up on becoming. That's why the enemy didn't attack you head on. He knew you'd raise your defenses. So he chose a more cunning, more cruel strategy. He used someone you trusted, someone you welcomed into your heart. Because the most painful blow doesn't come from a declared enemy. It comes from a supposed friend. He used that person's mouth to try to convince you that your light was arrogance, that your dreams were childish, that your faith was foolish. He wanted you to extinguish the flame yourself, the flame that terrifies him. So shift your perspective now. That person is not powerful. They are a broken instrument of envy. You are not being attacked because you are weak. You are being attacked because you are a spiritual threat to the kingdom of darkness. Your potential to fulfill the destiny I've designed for you is a declaration of war against the enemy's plans. And now that your light is about to intensify, the mask can no longer hold. Prepare for impact. I won't lie to you, my child. I won't tell you it will be easy or painless. What you will see when the mask finally breaks and falls to the ground will hurt. It will hurt deeply. You will see falseness in eyes that once looked at you with apparent affection. You will hear manipulative truth behind words that once confused you. You will feel the coldness of a presence you once believed was warm and safe. It will feel like a sharp blow to the soul, because betrayal from someone you trusted is one of the deepest wounds a human heart can endure. But that pain is proof that you love sincerely, that you were genuine. If it didn't hurt, it would mean you never cared. But I want you to engrave this truth into your spirit. That pain is not your final destination. It is only the bridge to your freedom. It is the sharp, quick pain of a splinter being pulled from the skin, so the wound can finally heal. It is the fire that burns away the weeds, so the wheat, which is you, can grow free and strong. And here is my promise. Hold on to it with all your strength. That pain will visit you, but it will not stay. And after the first wave of impact passes, you will feel something you haven't felt in a long time: freedom. A freedom so real, so deep, it will feel like an invisible weight has been lifted from your back, a weight you've carried for years. You will be free from doubt, free from manipulation, free from that unexplainable anguish, free to walk in your truth without needing anyone's permission. And this freedom will be forever. Because once you see the truth through the eyes I've given you, you can never return to blindness. Deception loses its grip. Once the mask is broken, it cannot be repaired. That person will no longer have access to the sacred places within you. The cycle of pain and confusion will be shattered eternally. Remember the shield I gave you. Use it now. Cover yourself with my presence. Before the impact, we must do something together. We must raise our voices in a prayer of war. The moment of impact is near. The shield of my presence surrounds you. And now, before the truth is revealed in the natural, we must declare victory in the spiritual. Lift your voice. Even if it's just a whisper, all of heaven pauses to hear you. Repeat these words with me, out loud if you can, because your voice, anointed by my Spirit, now carries the power of an army. Heavenly Father, God of truth and justice, I come before your presence, not in my own strength, but covered by the blood of your Son, Jesus Christ. Say it now. I present myself as your son, your daughter, and I claim the protection of your heavenly armies in this moment. Lord, I ask you to open my spiritual eyes like never before. Remove every veil, every blindness, every confusion the enemy has planted in my mind to keep me from seeing the truth. Declare with me. Give me the clarity to see what you see. Give me the discernment to understand what you already know. And now, with authority, say, in the mighty name of Jesus, I renounce every spirit of deception and manipulation in my life. Repeat. I renounce lies, falsehood, and betrayal. I reject and cancel every word of envy, jealousy, criticism, and curse that was secretly spoken against me. Now take the sword of the Spirit, which is my word, and prepare to cut. Repeat with all your strength. By the authority given to me, I now cut every spiritual tie, every soul bond, and every toxic connection with the person who has been operating behind a mask. I cut it now. Say it again. I cut the power of their words over my self-worth. I cut the influence of their energy over my peace. I cut off their access to my emotions, my finances, and my dreams. I declare that I am free from their influence. My home is free. My mind is free. The power of deception over my life is broken. Now feel the shift, my child. Feel the lightness in your spirit. What you just did was not merely repeating words. It was an act of spiritual warfare that echoed in the heavens. You've closed a door the enemy used to steal from you. You've reclaimed your territory. And now that you've severed the tie, a wound remains, and that wound must be healed by a divine touch. You've fought. You've cut. You've declared truth in the spiritual realm. And now, my brave warrior, it's time to heal. The war is over, but the battle left a scar. I know. The echo of betrayal still lingers in your soul. But I am the God who not only gives you the sword for battle, I also give you the balm for the wound. Enter now into the secret place of my presence. There is no need to fight anymore, only to receive. You don't need to say anything else. Just breathe deeply and allow my love, like a river of living water, to begin washing every corner of your heart. Now, with your soul open, repeat gently with me. Let each word be a caress from my spirit to yours. Father of love, God of all comfort, here I am. Wounded but standing, tired but trusting. I give you the broken pieces of my trust. I give you the sharp pain of disappointment. I give you the memories that still ache. And now, Lord, I make a conscious decision before you and your angels. Repeat this with the conviction of a soul longing to be free. Today, I choose not to live under the shadow of betrayal. Say it again. Today, I choose that my past will not define my future. Today, I choose to forgive, not because that person deserves it, but because I deserve to be free from the poison of resentment. Now open your arms. Open your spirit. Prepare to receive. Repeat with all your heart. I receive your embrace, Lord. Feel how I wrap you in my presence right now. I receive your peace that calms the storm within me. I receive your healing that restores what was damaged. I receive your unconditional love that reminds me of my true worth. You are no longer the victim of betrayal. You are a living testimony of my restoring power. You are no longer defined by the wound, but by the scar that will tell the story of my faithfulness. Feel my healing oil being poured over your soul right now. I am reaching into those painful memories, not to make you relive them, but to strip them of their power to hurt you. I am filling the void they left with my own presence. And this healing you are receiving is not just for you. I have restored you with a purpose. And that purpose, this healing, begins to bear fruit now. The peace flooding your heart. The truth that has opened your eyes wide. It is not a treasure to be buried. I did not heal you so you could hide from the world in a bubble of comfort. I healed you so you could become a beacon of light in the midst of darkness. From this very moment, you are no longer just a survivor of betrayal. You now carry a new spiritual identity. You are awakened. And this, my child, is the mission of the awakened. Listen closely to your first divine command. If you felt my real presence through this message, if every word resonated in your spirit as undeniable truth that shook you from within, then you have a sacred responsibility to share this message. But do not share it as just another video. Share it as spiritual medicine. Share it as a key that can unlock the prison of someone else who is crying in silence, just as you once did. Think of someone in battle, someone who confided their anguish to you, someone you know is being deceived by a mask and doesn't have the strength to see. When you share this message, you are not simply sending a link. You are sending Archangel Michael into their battle. You are allowing my light to enter another home, to expose another lie. You are becoming my instrument, an extension of my love and justice here on earth. The enemy wants the wounded to isolate and suffer in silence. But you and I, we are breaking that strategy. Like this video, not to inflate a number, but as a prophetic act to seal your healing and declare a resounding amen to everything you've received. Subscribe to this channel, not to follow a man, but to stay connected to the source of truth, so your spirit continues to be nourished and strengthened for the battles ahead. Turn on notifications so you don't miss the next instructions from heaven. Your personal healing journey has now become your calling. You are no longer the victim. You are the warrior who rescues others. And now that the mask has fallen, the war enters a new phase. You've accepted the mission of the awakened. Your healing has begun. But listen carefully, my child. Do not be confused. The fall of the mask is not the end of the war. It is the true beginning. Before, you fought in the dark against a faceless enemy. Now, deception has been exposed, and the battle will be fought in the light of day. The enemy, now revealed through that person, will react. They will try to sow chaos, play the victim, and manipulate the narrative to make you look like the one at fault. They may use mutual acquaintances to cast doubt on you and turn others against you. So what will you do then? How will you respond to the counterattack? You cannot act out of wounded emotions. That would be falling into their trap. You need a heavenly strategy, a clear and precise direction for the days ahead. That's why my mission with you does not end with this message. This video was only the preparation, the diagnosis, and the spiritual surgery. Now comes the post-operation phase, the action plan to secure your total and permanent victory. The mask has fallen, but the war is not over, and heaven will not leave you alone now. So look closely at your screen. Don't leave. Right here, I am showing you the next message I've prepared for you. It's not a suggestion. It is your next battle order. The title is Clear and Urgent: The 3 Steps Heaven Commands You to Take Now. Click on it. Do not ignore it. In that video, I will reveal how to handle confrontation without losing your peace, how to build a wall of spiritual fire around you so no counterattack can touch you, and how to begin walking, once and for all, toward the complete restoration I've promised you. Victory is not just knowing the truth, it's knowing what to do with it. Your next step will define everything. Heaven is waiting for you in the next message. Click now. I'll meet you there.